This actually was pretty surprising to me. Andrea Mitchell challenged George Will, a conservative troglodyte of the past, that these all these hosts would just go ahead and let's say whatever he wanted to say. Well, Andrea Mitchell kind of did a good job today. I mean, she could have said a few other things, but, coming from Andrea Mitchell, I thought this was wonderful. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Can I say something about the president and his cars?
Yeah, please do.
There were 8 million cars in this country in 1920. There were 20 million in 1930. Explode across the land. They all found gasoline. How'd they do that? The private market provided gas stations. Instead, in the modern age, we have to have an enormous multi-billion-dollar plan to build charging stations for electric vehicles, which are supposedly wondrous things, but we're bribing people to buy the vehicles, and then we're building the gas station equivalent, the electric charging stations for it. Why?
Well, why is the climate change? And why is, how short a period of time we have to try to do something to ameliorate it and get people off of fossil fuels. California is going to do it by, 2035.
Yes, let's hope they repaired their electricity grid by then, because now they're saying whatever else you do, don't charge your cars at this point because the grid can't handle it. If you have confidence in the government's ability to plan all this, you've been in Washington long enough to know better.
Have raised.
Now, it drives me crazy. First of all, she answered the question quite right. It's the climate, doofus. It's the climate. And what I think the government having to step in to build charging station proved is the failure of the private sector. You see, they want to amortize pipelines. They want to amortize all these old infrastructure. They want to use up all that carbon that they have in the ground in the form of oil, gas, and coal, right? So it's not in their interest. They don't care about the future. They will burn all that coal and burn all that gas, burn all of it to turn it into carbon dioxide and fry the future. It's not about the future for the private sector. It's about the next quarter. And if you're looking at the next quarter, you cannot expect these guys to do what's right, because what they do is to maximize the amount of bonuses they make for themselves as they screw everybody else. Folks, this is not rocket science. This is the reason you have to have good government. Good government that listen to science and follow the path. I mean, again, this is the reason that we are not electric or already on carbon neutral fuels is simply a failure of the private sector. And remember, we may not even need to call it a failure. We could probably call it a feature of the private sector. In other words, they will pollute, destroy the environment, and make a profit in doing so. And in order for us to live, the environment has to be cleaned up. We have to remove the carbon out of the air. We have to do all these things. They'll charge you again to clean up the mess that they've made. So it's the kind of economy that we have that has no soul, that has no morals, that cares nothing about anything other than a few making a few dollars. So folks, the troglodyte, when he says, well, do you trust the government for doing anything? Well, of course, if you put lousy people into government vis-a-vis Republicans and neoliberal Democrats, that's what you get, lousy government. But if you populate the government with people who think, with people who follow science, where there's not a profit motive, then the solutions would not look like how will that affect business, but how will that affect humanity? And inherently, if you make it good for humanity, good business will excel. Businesses that are attempting to pilfer you, to transfer most of the wealth to a few, they'll fail. Because you know what? Nobody needs to be a billionaire. Nobody earned being a billionaire. Nobody is worth a billion. Nobody worked hard enough or know enough to be a billionaire. That is a fiction of our capitalist system that allows some to take advantage of the works and the worth of others. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.